Hi, and welcome to this month's angel card reading. I'm Stacie Tatera, medium healer teacher, excited to deliver the messages for the month of May, rolling through the year as quick as it can go. It's kind of crazy and amazing how quickly everything is moving this year. Again, everybody's kind of different in terms of how they perceive time, but for me, I feel like it's flying by. So however that is feeling for you, I hope you're weathering the time and the energy that has been super intense these last months. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're taking care of yourself, and I hope that you're doing what you can to just make the most of these strong energies right now. And so I'm always excited to see what the reading will look like for the month of May. And Archangel Michael was calling to me for this month. So we're going to be using the Sword of Light angel card deck. And then, of course, we'll choose our crystal of the month. Really quick, just a few updates on what's going on with me. I am at Renew Holistic Wellness. What I'm finding that my clients are really excited to take advantage of seeing me in my new space, but also scheduling other types of services while they're here. So I encourage you to go to Renew Holistic Wellness, look at the services, look for the practitioner drop down. Partners is how it's worded on the website, and you can see what everyone's offering here: raindrop therapy, foot detox, colonics, yoga classes, facials, massages, all types of really wonderful wellness types of services. And we also have a homeopathic doctor, Dr. Kelly. So there's lots of really great options to take advantage of when you're coming into my space. So I hope that you can take a look at that when you have a moment. The link is also on the bottom of my homepage on my website. What's coming up right now is I do have a Reiki 1 class on Saturday, May the 31st. There's plenty of room if you have an interest in beginning your Reiki journey. I would love to have you be a part of that. So feel free to go online, milwaukeemedium.com, look for schedule now, and you'll see the classes, services and classes, and then you can take a look at what that is. So if you're interested, again, in learning about Reiki, becoming Reiki, taking your healing and your energy knowledge into your own hands, it's a really great opportunity. The other thing is I will be out of the country for the first part of June, and I'm doing virtual readings only. And when I do that, I'm offering a 10% discount on specific dates, select dates in June. So if you have an interest in doing something virtually with me, which is the same really as being in person, the readings are not different, you can go to my actually, you just email me. You can go to my website, but don't schedule. You'll want to contact me, milwaukeemedium@gmail.com, and you can let me know that you're interested, and I'll find a date and time that works, and we'll get you scheduled in. So if you do have an interest in doing something like that, or you feel like you're due for a reading, feel free to contact me, and we'll get something scheduled. People have been booking, so I would encourage you, if you do have an interest, to get that scheduled before I'm full. Other than that, my schedule is open through the end of August, I believe, or at least the beginning of August. And I will open it through the fall here shortly. If you do have an interest in coming in for a reading, Reiki session, rose healing sessions, for the month of May, I'm going to be offering a 10% discount on Reiki reading combos. So you'll get 10% off of that service for the month of May. And I'll also be offering a gift certificate discount special for Mother's Day. So if you do have an interest as we move into May 11th is, excuse me, I think it's the 11th is Mother's Day. So May 1st, I'll be kicking off a discounted gift certificate special. So keep an eye out for that. And if you feel like it would be a great gift, or because you can get a gift certificate and come in for a reading, you can come in for Reiki, you can do whatever you want as far as how you use the gift certificate. But to have a little discount is always helpful. And, the moms that are in your life, or the women in your life that are special to you, even for yourself as a mom, treat yourself. So I will be offering a discount on gift certificates, again, the 1st through the 10th. That's, I think, kind of all the, what do you call it? The, the happenings that are going on. So again, MilwaukeeMedium.com is where you'll see all of my information. I just had the website overhauled, so hope you like some of the changes. Nothing too drastic, but enough that it makes a nice difference. So I'm super happy about those changes and what's going on there. So let's dig into this month's reading, enough talking, right? And see what we can expect for the month of May. And again, we're using the Sword of Light Oracle by Archangel Michael. So the first, I think everyone will love this card. The first card is It's Almost Over. Your current challenges will soon be resolved and you will be able to look to the future with a smile. Well, I'll take it. I think a lot of us will take that. April, end of March, April, a lot of things going on, a little difficulty with just stuff, man. It's just been a little overwhelming. So again, I hope everyone's weathering the energies and what's been going on in your life well. But this is just a card to let us know that if you are indeed struggling, if you've had some things going on that you feel like are ready to shift out, that's really great, and the energy is supporting that. We are in a new moon energy at the end of April, kind of flowing a little bit into the beginning of May. However, that energy and some of those planetary connections that have been shifting are really pushing us forward and wanting us to understand, like, again, what we can let go of, really kind of accepting ourselves as changing, as evolving for many of us, some not so much, right? So maybe take a look at that and self-check in and ask yourself, like, are you moving forward or in a way that you would like or that you feel comfortable? And if you don't, then maybe, take a look at how you can make some adjustments that way. But with this card, It's Almost Over can mean a lot of things, right? So there might have been a rough patch of things that you've been going through that are finally shifting through. There might be some resolutions that will come to the forefront for you, so you're able to shift through some of the things that you've been challenging. My team is also saying, as we go through this, specifically for this card, we need to pay attention to our intuition. We need to pay attention to those voices that are speaking with us, that are encouraging us to, move in a specific direction. It could be don't do anything. Sometimes the message is hold, right? So be mindful of how you're feeling, feel into that. Are you not doing something because you're afraid? Again, this is a card also that kind of challenges us to look at what we've been afraid of, but it's like kind of shedding this old skin and these old things that just aren't making sense for us anymore. So It's Almost Over. Great card. I feel like the other thing is we're shifting. We're doing some shifting. So hold on. This is great. Have no fear. We just talked about fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. So again, it's so nice because what we're finding is that we're still addressing some of the fears that people have around life and what's been going on and how you're managing everything going on within your lives, whatever that is, right? So when we talk about have no fear, it is a trap of the ego. Edging God out is what ego is, right? We're not listening to our higher self. We're listening to the voice of not being rational. We're allowing the ego space to kind of beat us up about who we are, where we're at in our lives. And this card is such a big reminder that we really often, a lot of us operate from the space of fear. And this card is really telling you to not be afraid and to do the things that you can do to help center yourself, ground yourself, allow yourself to get into a space where you're just giving yourself some time to relax your nervous system, bring yourself into center, and think about what you're afraid of. The thing that I see a lot within my practice is that people often are in an anxiety space. They have some trauma that's starting to come up that they want to try to manage, heal. And with that comes fear, because it is releasing pieces of yourself that don't need to be a part of your energy and your spirit any longer. And so this card, with addressing the fear piece of things, is really trying to help us focus on looking past what is making us fearful, knowing that it's okay to go out of our comfort zone a little bit. We talk about jobs, relationships, how we're managing our own life. So many times we're so good at giving to everyone else that we neglect ourselves. And we need to also address those types of things too. But when it comes to the fear-based thinking, we get so used to that being our way of thinking that oftentimes we don't even recognize that that's not necessarily a good space to be. So I would ask you in this month and moving forward, if you haven't already, or if you've been thinking about this and you want to move forward differently, is that address those feelings of fear. Address what is making you feel uncomfortable or fearful about a specific situation. Now, I understand that there are certain things that are scary. My husband's retiring after over 32 years at the post office. He's been like kind of scared to death. Big life changes bring those forward, those feelings and emotions forward. Very natural, very normal to feel that. But really, what is it that you're afraid of? So I'm asking you to take a look at asking yourself, what am I really afraid of? And dig into that for yourself, because when you start to deconstruct what that is, you may find that you're being fearful for no reason, or reasons that really aren't that important, and you can rise above what that is. So I know that was kind of a long explanation on this card, but that's what I'm hearing and getting. And I think it's important that we do what we can to understand that when we move out of that fear space, that's a lot of when the magic happens. That's when we really allow ourselves to drop that and move forward. And again, with this card coming up, you're being supported. I love this card, trust your angels. So the card says, let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. This is a big letting go card. Oftentimes I operate from this space a lot. Most of the time in my life, I'm trusting my angels, my team, my guides. And I know that there are people outside of my circle in what I would call like the muggle world, if you will, that think that's crazy, that I would accept that over this headspace that we get really caught up in. And one of the things that the angels have taught me, that this work has taught me, that I get continually reminded to do, because I forget to, is dropping out of this head and into your heart space. And this card reminds us that whenever you trust your angels, whenever you connect into that angelic realm or your spirit team, your guides, that type of energy, prayer, meditation, it's dropping into this heart space. That's something that I have heard consistently that we need to be doing more of, all of us, as we move forward in our lives. And when these cards come up about trusting our angels, it makes me emotional, because again, that's 100% where I operate from. That's how I live. That's how I process things. That's how I look at my life in different situations. And there are so many times when I'm experiencing something and I just turn it over and I'm like, I don't have control of this. I know that God is driving this bus, and I'm going to need to do everything I can to just let this go and let my team help me see how I need to manage this. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but it is possible. And it's something that I would ask all of you to consider doing in your life. People often will ask me, my clients, like, how do you connect to your angels? Asking. Like, it's that simple. It's asking your team and your guides to come in and be of assistance to you. And it's also expressing gratitude as a response to that help and guidance. So I really feel like these cards are so helpful they're kind of like a reminder spread of things that we've talked about over the years when I've done these readings. I don't think these messages ever get old because we often find ourselves going a little astray on our path because life can be very overwhelming. We get busy, we get uptight, we're in a nervous system space that isn't always calm. We're trying to manage kids, families, parents. You know, as I'm getting older, having just lost my mother-in-law, like you're like, okay, I'm 54 and my husband's retiring. I'm like, okay, we're like moving into a whole different stage of our lives. And it's been a bit like eye-opening, and it's like, okay, I got to kind of adjust to what this is. It's a lot, right? So I say this as we are addressing these cards, like your challenges can and will be resolved, but have the faith that they will be. Make sure you're addressing your fear. The angels are reminding you, have no fear. Really try to pull into that heart space. And then we're trusting our angels, our team, our guides, God, the universe. Again, I've always said whatever it is that you connect to, but it is that universal love consciousness. And when we're able to do that, it helps us to relax and calm down. We can see the world happening around us and not necessarily feel very triggered. I also remind us, be mindful of what you're consuming as far as the people around you. I feel like that's a big thing for a lot of people as you are doing your work. The people that you once hung out with or spent time with, that can shift and evolve and relationships fall aside. And all of that's meant to be happening for your highest good so that you're moving forward and you're growing the way that you need to evolve and raise your vibration. That's why you came here. Okay. So lots of things. Like I feel like we're still, we're works in progress, and we get through a lot of things that we're like, I'm better at this. I manage this better. I'm way better at doing this, but I still have some pockets of, areas in my life that I would like to grow and evolve and do better. And so these cards remind us some of the key points that will help us do that. Okay. So really, really good cards. So for the month of May, for our crystal, we're looking at, I used the Daily Crystal Inspiration book. The card that came up was Ocean Jasper. Schedule yourself in. Now, this is a big self-care reminder. So Ocean Jasper, really quick, there's always time for me time. It's okay to make yourself a priority. If you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to be available to care for others in an effective and healthy way. Schedule a little time every day to ensure that you are nurturing and nourishing yourself properly. Take a break, treat yourself in some small way. You've earned it. If your day is so full that you can't schedule 5 minutes for yourself, then schedule 10. Self-care is not selfish. It's absolutely necessary in order to be the best version of you. I saw this card before I flipped these other ones, and I thought, this is such a great card, because if I have said this in one reading, I've said it in a million. Self-care is so key, and we really often forget to take care of ourselves. We find a million reasons not to go for the walk, go to the gym, eat better for ourselves, journal, do something that recharges your battery. For everybody, that will look different. Sometimes it's just sitting outside, taking in nature. People love to do art, listen to music, travel. I don't care what you do, as long as you can access it and do it consistently. Meditation is my thing. I do it every morning, sometimes a couple times a day, depending on what's going on in my life. I often too will draw angel cards as a way to connect to myself, get connected into some messages that I feel are important for me to understand, so that I can get through a certain situation, or again, have understanding around something that's happening in my life or for someone else. So the self-care component is not going away. And you're making things harder for yourself if you're not honoring your self-care. So I want you to think about that. I just dropped in. So if we continue to neglect ourselves from a self-care perspective, or make excuses, or be a martyr about it, or a victim, not the right energy you want to be in. Okay. So be mindful of what that is. Figure out what you can do. I would challenge you for May and moving forward. Figure out, at least, I would say, if you can cut out 30 minutes of time where you're recharging, not doing other things because you have quiet time, which I'm kind of guilty of, right? Oh, I have 30 minutes. Let me hop on the computer and do this for work, right? I will read. I'm a big reader. I love the fantasy romance books. Anybody ever wants to talk about it, let me know. Like, Sarah J. Maas and all these, it's like I'm lost in these books. I love them. And it really does help me kind of, have some alone time and bring me into a space of just being calm. And so find out what that is for you. We're in spring, gardening, planting, getting your hands in the ground, going for hikes. I don't care. Whatever it is, think about it and start doing what you can to connect into this heart space a little bit more than what you have. So these are fantastic messages, a lot of extra information that the teams are sharing. So hopefully that helps and resonates for you. If you ever want to schedule an angel card reading with me one-on-one, we can do them virtual. We can do them in person. They're so helpful. They really are very good at giving guidance on how to move forward. I use cards a lot in my life. So if this is something that lights your fire, I'm going to probably schedule an angel card class shortly as well. So stay tuned for that. I just have to figure out when to do it. The summer's super busy, so we'll find a time. But other than that, I hope you have a really great May. I hope you have a good Mother's Day. If your mother's not here with you, or grandmother, or someone that was super special to you, I get it. And just know that they're with you and that they love you. And again, if you're feeling the need to get connected during this time, feel free to hop on and schedule a 30 or 45-minute session. 1-hour sessions are available by request. And then I've also started to do guided meditation sessions, individual or groups, and they have been going really well. So if you have something that you're really trying to kind of move through and you need a little help and assistance, I can do those virtually, one-on-one usually. Groups, obviously, you'd need to come into my office, but lots of options to check out. So have a good month, Memorial Day, kickoff of summer, all the things. So remember to drop into this heart space, let the fear go, trust your guides, start, asking and seeing what happens. And I'm here to help in any way that I can. So have a great month, and we'll talk to you soon.